Hey, Gatekeepers! Welcome back to Weekly Soap Chronicles, your go-to channel for all the drama, romance, and shocking moments from beyond the gates. I'm your girl, Phil, and today I'm diving into episode number 128. But first, I need you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a recap with a little bit of flair. Let's get into it. So we start off at the country club where Bill runs into Danny. Hey, what's up, lady? You looking good. Absolutely radiant, I might add. And she's like, yeah, I'm feeling good too. He said, can I have a seat? And she like, where's your persistent wife? Oh, she's at home. Oh, okay, well, you can have a seat then. So they get to reminiscing about how they held each other up during Chelsea's ordeal. And now that Chelsea's back home, all is right with the world. And then Danny mentions how it seemed like Bill is using her to avoid going home. I heard you tell her to stay home and she wasn't wanted. Well, my advice to you, flowers are nice, but jewelry is better. And they start laughing about it. So what do you think, Gatekeepers? Is this just harmless fun? Or are we heading into dangerous territory with these two? Meanwhile, at Naomi's, she and Chelsea are doing some sisterly bonding. Naomi called her over so they could do their semi-annual closet purge. But Chelsea is feeling off. She is worried something is about to happen. She just talks about not being comfortable being an influencer anymore, and she wants her privacy. Naomi tells her not to make a rash decision yet. And oh, by the way, Allison asked me to be her lawyer. And Chelsea said, well, I hope you said yes. And Naomi is like, yes. She said, yeah, so you could throw the case. Naomi said, no, that's not how this works. And no, I'm not doing that at all. Hopefully, at the end of the day, she will be doing a lot of time in jail. After the pep talk, Chelsea feels better, thinking her future has to be her decision, and she cannot let Allison take any more from her. So then we move over to Orphe Jeans, where Kat and Tomas are talking about how Madison has been there for Chelsea. Tomas kisses her hand, and he's sitting up there telling her like he thinking of some moves or some scenarios to rock Kat's world in the bedroom. Because, of course, the first couple of times, he was pretty much a non-factor. So much so that Kat was like, the second time was more boring than the first. But Tomas say, I got some tricks up my sleeve the next time. They start kissing and stuff, and in walks Eva, who plops herself down at the table with him. Of course, much to Kat's chagrin. Eva is like, I just want to say something, okay, what do you have to say? Because I am totally annoyed that you are sitting here right now. I just want to say I'm sorry that my mama is trying to move across the street from the Duprees. And Kat is like, of course, whatever. I just hope your mom shrivels up and flies away. And Eva is like, oh my gosh, I forget it. I've tried. Meanwhile, Tomas, the mannequin, but she's family. And Kat is like, an apology don't mean nothing. Eva ends up leaving the table and going to another booth. And then Tomas got the nerve to tell Kat, oh, you really enjoying this mean girl era. And what did he say that for? Because Kat was like, what? Oh my gosh, Tomas, What is it about little evil adjacent that's turned you and my dad? Do downtrodden women appeal to your Captain Save a Garden Tool instincts or something? That's what makes it even worse. But you know what? You can take your pity for that basic bee and choke on it. And she storms out of the restaurant. Okay, side note. I don't know why Tomas keeps trying to force Kat to be nice to Eva. In Kat's mind, Leslie and Eva are the enemy. They came to town and destroyed her family. And then to top it off, she finds out that Eva is her sister. That was like a double whammy to her. What part of that does Tomas not get? Gatekeepers, y'all let me know what y'all think about this triangular situation. Meanwhile, over at the Chelsea Cat office/apartment, old Samantha has invited a young man over so they could talk about getting a jump on a school project. She's nervous and he's cute. Both of them, dimples popping off the screen. They flirt a little bit, and next thing you know, they get to kissing. He lets her know that he and his brother are into event planning, because what they do is rent a house and do a cover charge, and having a model on site would be a boom. You know, she'll be getting the VIP treatment, and she is all in. So they get to kissing, and the next thing you know, Kat walks in and breaks all that up. Kat say, Samantha, you better start talking. You are out of your league, and this young man here has got to go. He leaves, and then Kat yells about ruining her trust and bringing some rando in for sex. Or X, I'm sorry, YouTube. Samantha says she's sorry and begs her not to tell her two dads. And Kat agrees, but she said the next time that this can't happen ever again. Kat eventually leaves, but Samantha invites the young man back over and then gonna say to him, where were we before we were interrupted? And they get to kissing again. Ooh, Samantha. So we move on to the hospital where Andre shows up to check on Ashley and Derek. Why? Any rate, he and old drab Ashley start talking, and Ashley is all about, I'm so glad we didn't get together, because if it wasn't for that little misunderstanding, we'd be a couple right now. Yeah, and I would probably be feeding you breakfast in bed. They're not realizing that Derek is out there ear hustling on their conversation. They go on to say that at the end of the day, they ended up with the people that they were supposed to be with in the first place. Yada, yada, yada. Next. Later, Andre shows up at the country club and he see Bill sitting there. He's like, what's up, my man? You in my seat. Bill's like, oh, so you the missing breakfast companion, huh? Guilty as charged. Yeah, Nicole filled me in on this little situationship y'all got going here. And Danny is like, my private life is no longer any of your business, Bill. And Andre is like, am I interrupting something? Oh, of course not. Bill was just leaving. It was uncomfortable, but Bill leaves. And then Andre want to start talking about the ex chat. And Danny is like, you know what? Ain't nothing going on between me and Bill. Andre goes on to say that him and Ashley had a talk and ain't nothing happening on that front either. Danny like, why we still here talking? Let's go back to my place And you know what they end up doing after that. Later, Ashley meets her mama Jan at Orphe Jean's to discuss Derek versus Andre. Ashley goes on about how Andre makes her feel electric, and Jan is like, look, you need somebody that's with stability. That's what you really been wanting all your life, yada, 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 so on and so forth. I suggest you choose Derek. Next. So Ashley rushes back to the hospital to talk to Derek, and she goes on to let him know that initially she was treating him like an invasive species, wanted him to adapt to her ways and all that, and that wasn't fair. And she tells him that all roads lead to him, and that's where she belongs. And she thinks that they can build a life together. So she gets on one knee and asks him to marry her. Derek Baldwin, will you marry me? And of course, Derek gives her a look of shock and surprise. But go ahead and get married to this man so y'all can go ahead and live a happily ever after drab life. Next. And finally, Eva rejoins Tomas at the table. She warns him not to take on her mother as a client, because otherwise he'd be looking for another job and girlfriend. Tomas calls Kat fun, and he's not sure what he'll do, and admits that being with someone who lets their triggers turn them into a whole nother person wears on you after a while. You keep bringing up the trigger. Again, what part of that don't you get? You keep bringing up the trigger and then caught feelings for the trigger. Ugh. Then Kat comes back to Orphe Jean's, where she overhears Tomas telling Eva how such a good person she is, and they're holding hands and gazing at each other, and Kat is crushed. She leaves without saying a word, and you could just feel her heart break. Poor Kat. And that's a wrap on episode 128 of Beyond the Gates. What did you think, Gatekeepers? Are you team Derek or team Andre? Is Kat being too harsh, or does Eva deserve it? And what's next for Samantha and her secret little boyfriend? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Weekly Soap Chronicles. Until next time, Gatekeepers, keep the drama alive.